remember the very first part of this?
Life.
Who can tell me?
Relationship.
Love relationship. That was one step before that.
And then sin.
Almost. One step before the love relationship.
God gave us life. For
God?
God to love the world.
Okay, well that's the scripture. You've got it, Claire. What were you saying?
God gave us life.
God created us, our life, to have purpose, and we are of great value to Him. Okay? Then what did we talk about?
Love relationship.
A love relationship. Good? Okay? And then what did we talk about? That God created us for a love relationship. Alright? And what verse did we share?
You're feeling better.
I'm feeling
loved the
better.
world that He gave His one and only Son.
Yes, John 3:16. Great verse.
We have eternal life.
Yes. Okay. Now, we kind of moved into the second part just briefly, okay? And this one's going to take us a little bit of time because I've got several illustrations to do with it, okay? And what did I say? Why were the eyes separated? Very good. Why?
Sin.
Because of sin. We all have the same. We all have the same problem. And that problem is that we are full of sin, okay? It doesn't take us long to go through a day to realize that we are sinners, okay? And the verse that I want y'all to think about, there's actually three. The first one we're going to look at is Romans 3:23, okay? Sin separates us from a holy God. Okay? And we're going to look at Romans 3:23. So write that down if you're taking notes on that card.
My card's in my room.
If not, just write it down somewhere. Okay? And here's what Romans 3:23 says. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Very simple verse. You've probably heard it a lot of times in your life. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Okay? It's kind of like this. If I had a target, okay, if that circle or that dot in the middle lane is perfection, okay, every time I shoot towards that target, I never hit perfection. Do you know why? Because I'm not perfect, okay? And that's what sin is in my life, okay? Sin is never being able to hit the middle circle, the target of being perfect. But there is one that has,
Jesus.
yes, which is Jesus, okay? So He lived the perfect life I could not, okay? And so, somebody tell me again what these 2 points are.
Love relationship.
Okay? So God created our life to have purpose, and we are of great value to Him. He desires us to have a love relationship with Him. That's why we were created. And then we would share that verse. And then, but there is a problem, and that problem is sin. And sin cannot commune with the holy God. So, it says in Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Okay? The glory of God is Jesus Christ. Okay? We have all fallen short of becoming perfect. Alright? So that's all we're going to talk about today. So write down Romans 3:23 if you're taking notes on that. And that's one of the verses that we're going to use to explain the gospel. Okay? Alright. Alright, now going to the lesson. Lesson 53. Let me pray over y'all this morning, and we'll get started. Father, I thank you for these students. I thank you for your life and your love. And God, I ask that you would draw us so deeply in love with you, that you would be our heart's desire and the reason that we live. God, I ask that you would captivate every one of these students' hearts, that they would long and live for your glory. And God, I thank you that we are sinners because it shows us that we need a Savior. And we love you and we praise you. Amen. All right, guys. Lesson 53 is on multiplying rates. Okay, a rate is anything, it's kind of like a unit multiplier, so it's kind of like 12 inches equals 1 foot. 1 foot equals 12 inches. Another unit multiplier would be 3 feet equals 1 yard. Okay? Now, rates have to do with speed and different things like that. So let's listen to one of these. All right? For example, rates always change. That's why it's not called a unit multiplier. Okay? So a rate for me on the way to school is I drove probably 50 miles an hour, something like that. Okay? And I was going to ask myself, like, here's one of the problems, okay? We are traveling in a car at 50 miles an hour. How far would we travel in 4 hours? Okay, if I'm going 50 miles an hour, how many would I travel in 4 hours? Okay, well, we can do that very simply. Let's just do it the illustrative way, okay? If 1 hour, I go 50 miles, because that's how many miles I can go per hour, 50 miles an hour. So 2 hours would be what? How many miles? 100. 3 hours, 150 miles, and 4 hours, 200. Okay, so I just kind of did that very elementary. And what I mean by that, I didn't really even use an equation or anything to figure that out. I just basically took the very first one. I know that I can go 50 miles an hour. So how many miles can I go in 4 hours? 200. Okay, but in math, there's actually a different way that you can do this that is actually quite simple. So, let me show you what you'll do. All right? So here's what they tell me. Here's another example. 8 ounces. Okay, I'm going to put this little line in my Z so that y'all know that that's not a 2. Okay? 8 ounces cost 40 cents. 8 ounces of something cost 40 cents. All right, so if I were to write a rate for this, here's what I would do. 8 ounces per 40 cents. 40 cents, I can get how many ounces? 8 ounces. Okay? I wrote 2 different rates. 8 ounces for 40 cents, or 40 cents, I can get 8 ounces. Basically saying the same thing. I'm just writing the rate differently. Okay? Now here's the question they ask me. Okay? Find the cost. Find the cost of 32 ounces of solutions. Okay, so there's the whole problem. They've given me my rate, okay? And then they tell me to find the cost of 32 ounces of the solution. All right, now, what you're going to do to figure this out is whatever they have given you, the only information they have given you other than the rate is what? They've given me 32 ounces. You're going to write down the very thing they give you that's not the rate. Okay? So 32 ounces is what they gave me. Is the information they gave me that's not really a part of the rate yet. Okay? Then you're going to take this amount, whatever they've given you, and you're going to multiply it by a rate. And we're going to choose either this one or this one based on what we want to know. Okay? What do they want us to find?
The cost.
The cost. Okay? Whatever, write this down, whatever they are wanting you to find, that thing needs to be on the top. So, do I want to choose this one or this one if I'm looking for the cost and I want my cost to be on the top? I want to choose this rate because the cost is on top. So watch what happens. 40 cents over 8 ounces.
But how did you get 32 cents?
They told me they wanted to find the cost of 32 ounces. So you take the amount that they give you and you put it there, and then you multiply that by a specific rate that we came up with. Okay? So we're going to do some more problems like this. All right, now why did I choose this one? Because I asked for the cost. And why do I want this one? Because the cost is on the top. Okay? Now, if you get confused and you don't remember, just know that when I put this, I'm going to put this over 1 so that I can multiply it. Okay, so that this can multiply and this can multiply. And do y'all remember, I think Miss Dupin taught y'all this. You can cross out measures. Did she teach y'all that? Yeah? Okay. Just like,
Not as well. Like it's,
did y'all learn that or not?
It was a little bit confusing.
It was a little bit confusing? Okay, so let's kind of review that really quick. All right, if I had, let's take numbers. If I had 3 8s times 2 9s, okay? Just like we can cross out and make smaller these two. 2 will go into 8 4 times, and 2 will go into 2 1 time. 3 will go into 3 1 time, 3 will go into 9 3 times. Just like you can cross out to convert, okay? Or just like I can say,
I have a quick question.
yes,
Is there a way that can it only has to be?
it has to be.
Okay, so it can't
Well-
be on top. It cannot cross out like over.
Yes.
And it cannot cross out if they're both on the bottom.
Any top with any bottom. Okay? So if I had 2 4s times 3 9s, I can, let's do 16. I can do this here. I can do this here. Okay?
But you
I
cannot
can't do
4.
these two.
Okay.
Okay, I can do any top with any bottom, or I can do any top with any bottom.
Yeah.
Okay? So basically all they're trying to show you is that you can cancel out things from side to side, and the same principle with measurements. Okay? So that's a good thing because we want to cross out the ounces because they're asking us to find the cost. What's left?
Ounces.
No?
Cents.
Cents. Is that going to give us cost? Yeah. Okay? So basically you want, if you can't remember which one you're supposed to use, then you want to do the diagonal kind of theory. Austin? Oh, wait. Okay, so, does everybody understand? We wanted to be able to cross out this and this because we are wanting to find the cost, which is what's left. Right? Okay, so now we go 32 times 40, which is 1280. Now wait, we're doing cents, so we're going to put cents there. Over 1 times 8, 8. Okay, then we'll do 1280 divided by 8 and get
160.
160 cents, which is really $1.60. Very good. So, what is the cost of 32 ounces? $1.60. Very good. All right, let's try another one.
Can we do this one on our own?
I'm going to do another one and then you can do one on your own. Just so I can make sure y'all are getting it. Okay. Jennifer's speed was 60 miles an hour. So what is my rate?
60 miles an hour.
60 miles per hour. In 1 hour, she can travel 60 miles. Right? I just wrote 2 of them so I can figure out which one I want to choose. All right? Then it says this. How far did she drive in 5 hours? What is the given information? 5 hours. You write that down first. Given info, that's not the rate. You write that first. Okay? And what do we want to know? How far? How far? Which one shows us far?
60 miles.
This one. So guess which one we're going to use? That one. Okay? So I'm going to take 5 hours and put it over 1, just because that's the thing we do. Okay? And we're going to multiply our given information by which of these do we want to use. We already determined we want to do how far, so we want how far to be on top. 60 miles per 1 hour. Okay? Did we do good? Will these cross? Yes, that means we've set it up right. Hours, hour. Now you just work it. 5 times 60 is 300 miles. 1 times 1 is 1. So, how far can they travel? 300 miles per hour. Okay? 300
How
miles.
did you get the 5 hours again?
300 miles for 5 hours. Okay?
I know, but you had the
Yeah.
60 miles in the 1 hour. How'd you get the 5 hours?
They gave us that information. Here's what they said. How far did she drive in 5 hours? That was the question. How far did she drive in 5 hours? That was the question. They told us this is how fast she traveled. So we wrote down the rates. Okay, that's how fast she traveled. Then the question was, how far did she drive in 5 hours? Whatever information they give you that's not the part of the rate is what you write down first. And then you take that information and you multiply it by a rate based on the question they ask. Everybody understand? Okay, let's do another one. I don't really feel like we should do one on your own. I'll let you do that on your practice set and see how you do. Okay, I'm going to do one more.
What's 55 times 60? 300.
Oh, 3,300? I don't know. That was totally done in my head. I don't know. If pencils cost, listen to this. Pencils cost 25 cents each. How many pencils can Carol Ann buy for $2? Okay. How many pencils can she buy for $2? I'm going to go in, because this one's in cents and this one's in dollars, I'm going to make this one into dollars, just to help me out, so that I have the same.
Can we do this on our own?
You can on your own if you want to. If you want to watch me, you can. Okay, so how many pencils were for 25 cents?
1.
Pencils cost 25 cents each. So 25 cents for one pencil. That is our rate. Okay? So for one pencil, we can pay 25 cents. Okay? How many pencils? Okay. So what was the given information in my question? How many pencils can she buy for $2?
$2.
$2 is our given information. Okay? We're going to only go in and put that over 1. And that given information, which one are we going to multiply by if we're asking how many pencils can she buy? This one. One pencil is 25 cents. Okay. Now we just work it. Okay, if I wanted to cross out my cents and my cents, I could do that. I guess you could cross out that even. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, so $2 times 1, still $2. 1 times 25 cents is 25 cents. $2 divided by 25 cents should be 8. Because there's 8 quarters in $2. I just did that in my head, and you can too. Okay, or if you feel like you need to work it, work it. Okay? And that would be the answer. Alright? Does everybody feel like they got it? So what's my very first step when I'm reading a problem?
Find the given information.
With the rates.
First, figure out your rate. What is my rate? Okay? So first step is to find the rate and write them both. Okay? Second step, tell me what it is.
Is you divide.
Once I've gotten the rate,
Find the given information.
find the given information. What is the information they're giving us that they're wanting us to convert or figure out? What's my third step?
Multiply and produce
Choose which
unit.
rate or unit multiplier you want to do based on what they're asking. If you need to write this down, please do. This is a step-by-step what to do. Choose the rate that you're going to use based on what you're asking, and then multiply the rates. Multiply the rate times the information given. Step 4. You can also, if you want to add that in there, to cross out the measures you don't need. So, let's do it A and B together on your lesson practice. In the lecture hall, there were 18 rows, and 15 chairs were in each row. Okay, what rate was given?
18 rows.
In the lecture hall, there was 18 rows. 15 chairs were in each row.
15 chairs over 18 rows.
Close.
15 chairs over 1 row.
Very good, Bailey. There were 15 chairs. They tried to trick you. Okay? In the very beginning. They told you that there were 18 rows in the wherever. Okay? But first we need to figure out the rate. And that rate was that there was 15 chairs in each row. 15 chairs in one row. And one row contained 15 chairs. That was our rate. What was the information given?
There are 18 rows.
That there were 18 rows. Okay? So what would we do there? We've got our rate. Done with that. Okay? Then what is our given information? That there are 18 rows. That is the given information. Step 2 is done. Step 3, choose the rate based on what it is asking. Okay? And the question says how many total numbers of chairs are in the lecture hall? Which one has the chairs on top? This rate right here. So I'm going to take 18 rows and multiply it. I'm running out of room. 18 rows and multiply it by this one because it's asking how many chairs. So I'm going to go 15 chairs over 1 row. Does that cross out our rows? I'm not doing this for me. Does that cross out our rows?
Yeah.
Yep. Sure does, which is good. We can put that over 1. Crosses out our row. 18 times 15 is? I have no idea.
270.
How much?
270.
275?
No, just 270.
270. Okay, so 270 what? Chairs is all that's left. 270 chairs. Got it? And 1 times 1 is 1, which we don't even need. Everybody understand? Kind of, not really, maybe. All right, that is lesson